Jordan, come on now. I'm going to be cold.
Hi guys. I have got a lot to edit today. 44 minutes in and we're just now getting started.
So is Trump going to be right when we play
It will
this
be,
back?
yeah, it will be right this time.
Hi guys, welcome to J&J Adventures.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are excited because now that we have the ability to do TV shows, we are going to get started on that soon. We were actually going to get started on it today and realize we don't have enough devices to get it done.
Because my iPad is officially
Well, it's really,
out.
it's the iPad's fault. It won't even connect to the App Store anymore. So today we're just gonna do music. But before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to Steven and to Laura, because they have been super huge donators lately.
Laura's the biggest. I think Laura's on top. Laura's
the biggest right now. Laura has sent a lot of donations in the past week or so. So Laura, super huge shout out to you.
Super
Thank
big,
you.
Huge. I love these.
Yeah, we've got something planned for you. We don't know what yet.
I was gonna say we don't have something planned. We know that we need to plan something.
Yeah, we are gonna plan something for you. We already did do something for Steven, which I will put here.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Take the hell out of this. Holy fuck! Thank you.
So yeah, shout out to Steven. Thanks Steven, for all your contributions.
Cool,
Glad you enjoyed your CD.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to cut out the whole beginning of it where it takes them 20 minutes to undo the tape, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that. If anyone ever gets anything from Mom, expect to spend a solid fucking hour just trying to open the package, because she is going to tape it up like an asshole. She does it with everything.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right, well, today we're going to continue on with the Brave album. And we're going to be doing Never Gonna Come Down. All right. Without further ado, Never Gonna Come Down.
You need to let me see.
Yeah, never move, never flinch. Been through hell to get here, I ain't giving up an inch. You weren't there before I ever wrote a verse. Had to hop on a train just to make my way to work. No home, no license at all. No phone, who cares? I had no one to call. Worked so hard, I had drive like a car. Been through every season, but I never seen the fall. Autumn don't come too often for me. And when the wind blows, I don't fall off the tree. I don't burn like the leaves, I just grow like a spring. Never fold to retreat, hold it down like a G. Yeah, always win like a 3P. Put my music on repeat. Bend down, came back around, made it to the top. Now they all line up just to see.
It was nice to have Adam start one out.
Yeah.
I felt like those lyrics were a little bit more lyrically inclined.
I agree. The lyrics
creative.
were good, and they fit the song. I have a problem with the flow though. Like his
hold it down like a
G. Yeah, it's a very old school flow.
Yeah.
It's like something out of like the early 90s.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I've never, even with like Tupac and Biggie and all of them, like even those guys, even though they're greats, like I've never cared for those flows.
We were listening to NWA in the car yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Very simple chorus.
Most people been to hell and back. I went to hell and stayed there. Caught my jacket on a branch and waited in the flame scared. Demons started closing in and devils never played fair. I made it out alive. I ain't the same now. I got gray hair. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger if you're tough enough. It's hard to comprehend when you consider even metal rust. You still gotta thug it out. I ain't getting out the water, fight the sharks till I drown. Never run away from nothing, I'm a man, it's how it has to be. I'll only leave to lead the evil away from my family. The alcohol and partying have obviously damaged me, but I ain't giving up, you'd have to kill me to cancel me. None of us are getting out alive, man, that's real true. The first cut is the worst, but they all feel new. Tough times don't last, tough people do. And you got the vision, just go see it through.
Okay. Just gotta say, I mean, Adam, I am digging you in this song. Like you're really growing on me.
Tom kills it.
But Tom kills
it's
it.
It's really Tom's flow, because what the difference between him and Adam, whereas Adam's willing to pause, like Tom literally tries fitting everything that he possibly can
into all of
into
those
a single
spaces,
bar,
yeah.
but still like trying to make it sound like no,
Yeah.
you know, like it's not too much, but he's, you know, he fills every single gap.
Fills every space, yeah. Do you think Adam goes pause when he does it?
No, because I don't know. Like there's obviously like there's other flows of his where he doesn't pause, but like it seems like a lot of his flows are more old school flows.
I agree.
Maybe that's my issue with Adam. Maybe that's what's keeping me from like fully connecting with him. Yeah, that was I don't know. That was good from Tom.
Yeah, I like that, definitely.
All right.
I've been climbing to the moon, right now I'm deep inside the clouds. People crowding around my ladder, shaking it to bring me down. Don't need an army, I'm a soldier, packed a million different rounds. When I finally blow the motor, then my feet will hit the ground. And I'ma run like I ain't never run before in my life. Like I'm 14, drunk and jumping fences all night. Cause a warrior's destiny doesn't end with a fight. It makes him stronger than he's ever been before in his life. My life go brighter than the light pole. You should know I'm cool than what's cool, ice cold. I don't break down, I just hit the ground, I'm running. Ever since a youngin' always kept it 100. Look, I don't know the speed limit. Only time I look back is just to see what we did. I'm writing a book. You don't get to read it cause I sing it in these hooks, but you know it when you hear it in my voice, they all look.
I'm not gonna lie, so at the beginning, where is it? When I finally blow the motor, then my feet will hit the ground. When Tom said that, I thought of the Flintstones.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought of too.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. That's what I envisioned in my head, yeah.
Okay, alright. Alright, I kind of want to go back on Adams just a little.
Ever since a youngin' always kept it 100. Look, I don't know the speed limit. Only time I look back is just to see what we did. I'm writing a book. You don't get to read it cause I sing it in these hooks, but you know it when you hear it in my voice, they all look.
That was better from Adam.
That was better. Okay.
Could you hear Nova just a little bit in that?
Yeah, she was in the chorus.
Doing the background voices.
Yeah, she was in that chorus.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Now what?
Well,
Are we done?
I mean,
Are we wrapping
yeah.
this one up?
Well, I gotta tell a story.
Okay, you gotta tell a story. What story are we
It's the
telling?
moped story.
Oh, it's a moped story.
The moped story. So.
Okay, let me buckle in for this one. I kind of have to tinkle. I should probably do that first.
Okay, so the way this story goes is it was one of my times of coming back from getting out of jail. And Mom had bailed me out, and she was helping me out.
Oh,
and
one of your what?
one of the times you guys bailed me out of jail. I think it might have been the first time. I didn't have anything, and you guys and Graham had bought a moped for me.
Well, when you were coming back from Teen Challenge. Because you were living with us in Durham.
No. So.
Alright, go ahead.
Anyways.
I got him a fancy moped.
Yeah, her and Graham got me it looked like a fancy moped. It had issues.
It was a fancy moped.
Anyways, right down the street from where we used to stay was the bank that I was at, and I had to go cash a check. So I was high, and I was going down the road on my moped in shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt. And being high, I said, in my incredible stoned wisdom, that I was going to go over onto the sidewalk, and I was going to start driving on the side path. So I'm going down the sidewalk at 45 miles an hour. And, you know, I'm making the small little turns with the sidewalk. But...
Dude!
No, get down.
I don't know how long he was up there.
He was up there for a while. I just didn't know all fours were up there.
Okay, go ahead. So you were riding 45 on the sidewalk.
I was riding 45 on the sidewalk and made it about a quarter mile before I got to the point where the sidewalk did one of these
What
numbers.
do you mean by one of these numbers?
It was like a Z. It was like a zigzag.
Like, was it going around a tree?
It was
or
going
something?
around like a pole or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't see it coming until I was right up on it. And I didn't have enough time to slow down. So I tried to make that zigzag with the sidewalk. And when I was making the last zag, the moped just couldn't handle it anymore. And I turned sideways. And the moped just came to a complete stop from 45 to 0, just like that. And sent me flying off the side of it. And I must have skidded down the sidewalk probably about 15, 20 feet, and tore my shit up. I'll leave pictures so that way you guys can see. But just to let you know, it's a graphic warning.
Of what's to follow. Look away.
Look away if you're
now.
screaming. But yeah, it was really fucking bad. I got back on my moped and put the pieces back on that fell off and made it down to the bank. And by the time I got to the bank at that point, I was feeling queasy because I was missing a lot of skin. And I started throwing up everywhere. But I managed to cash the check and bleeding all over the place, drive back home.
Were you in the drive-thru or in the bank?
I had to stop at the drive-thru. I did the drive-thru because I was not feeling too good to go inside. Plus, I'm not sure they would have wanted me inside anyways. I was bleeding everywhere. So I called Nat on my way back, I think, and was like, Nat, I'm gonna need your help when I get home because I fell off my moped and hurt myself pretty bad. And he just chuckled at me and was like, all right, sure, I'll go get the alcohol and stuff. And I got home and Nat was like, holy fuck, you did hurt yourself. He's like, we're gonna need more than this, dude. I can't help you. He's like, I gotta take you to the emergency room.
That's when I got a call at work. I'm taking your kid to the ER. I'm like, dang, it must be pretty bad because he wasn't one. He was raised in that, oh, go rub some dirt in it, you'll be fine generation.
Yeah.
So what'd they have to do when you went to the doctor?
Oh, God, they stuck me probably about 12 times with local anesthesia. At least from what I can remember. They might have stuck me more, and I just blocked the shit out.
Didn't you have to take some of them underneath the toenails?
Yeah, I mean, they stuck it in, all the spots that were exposed, practically.
Kind of like torture. Don't they stick things under people's toenails when you're trying to get...
Bamboo.
Trying to torture them? Yeah, so it was kind of like that. It was intense. But the fun part came the days after.
No, the fun part came immediately after the shots. And then they started scrubbing with a scrub brush through all of that to make sure that all the gravel and dirt and everything got out of it.
Ew.
And then they had to alcohol it all.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. But then, yeah, like you said, the following weeks were the most of the fun. Because at the time, I was looking for a job and did not have one and had to continue looking for a job. And I had to put socks and shoes and pants on all of that every single day.
And then peel the things off of your flesh.
At the end of the day, it was like brand new gaping wounds. Everything refused to heal for like weeks because of just not, like constantly having to walk around.
Y'all. And your big toenail's still jacked up, isn't it?
I mean, no, the nail came back fine. There's still like scars and shit on my feet.
You got scars everywhere,
Yeah, you can still see kind of the scars
Maybe
on my
is it
knees.
your thumb? What finger did you jack up?
That was Teen Challenge.
That one still grows funny, right?
Yeah.
Or you sliced off the tip of your finger.
Yeah. I was running around with it spurt everywhere. There's a different story.
For another
slid
day.
my finger into a table router and it like corkscrewed my finger.
Ew.
I was the only one in the workshop, like running around, like, oh my God, someone help me! Freaking out.
Were you making my cross that you gave me?
I don't think it was yours. I was making somebody's.
Oh, you should say that it was mine.
I was making Mom's cross in the
You
workshop.
should say it. That would make it a better story.
Of course, if it was yours, there'd probably be blood all over it.
So.
Modi.
He's
Stop
such
it.
a little bitch.
I think he's gotta go. Oh.
You have to go OUT? Do you have to go OUT?
Say, I can spell.
Do you have to go INTHECAR? Do you want to go FORAWALK? I don't know what these words mean. I don't know what those letters mean.
Modi, you need to go potty. I think with leftists, the biggest issue with them in these whole puberty blockers thing is that they fall under the idea that testosterone or estrogen doesn't start being produced and pumped out by the body until you start going through puberty.
Well, that's when it really kicks in.
That's
it's
when it
going
kicks
on beforehand, but that's when it really amps
it's like
up.
they think that until you start puberty, you're just this amorphous blob who could just be anything, and that's not the case.
Not the case.
Because our pituitary gland, like for men, like ours creates small amounts of testosterone when we're children, and for women, this is the reason why women start puberty at a younger age. Your pituitary gland creates estrogen, but fatty tissue also creates estrogen too. You guys have more of your hormone being created than boys, which is why puberty
Okay,
kicks on
so if
early.
I didn't have much fat on me, I didn't have much fatty tissue, I wasn't getting the right amount of estrogen when I was growing up.
No.
Because I was less than 2% body fat.
Well, the fact that you had extra testosterone floating around in your system probably kicked off puberty early for you too.
Why did I didn't start puberty real early then.
Did you not?
Well, no, I mean, I was about on time. I started puberty, started getting little mosquito bite bump boobies when I was probably 10 or 11.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's still earlier than when most boys start puberty.
Yeah, I think girls in general start.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's because you guys typically have more hormones in general floating through your system to kickstart things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I mean, that in and of itself is proof that puberty blockers do nothing but just cause harm. Like at that point, you're taxing your endocrine system because I don't know. That's like blocking up a dam. It's like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
you're just gonna create problems like way up there.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's not good.
If anyone's wondering, you can prevent lesbianism in people who are gay if you catch their hormonal issues early on in their childhood.
Yeah.
I believe very firmly that people who are gay, like Dirk. Dirk is a great example of someone who probably had really bad hormones from birth, and no one ever caught it. No one did tests, no one knew. And by the time they did realize that something was wrong, at that point his brain had developed in a wrong way because he didn't have good testosterone.
I agree. They just kind of figured he was a quirky, different kind of a weirdo kid. And they just kind of let him be his thing, you know.
Yeah, at this
it
point.
should be the first thing that we do when we bring our children to the doctor. We need to start having them give them hormone tests.
Yeah, I feel like
for the right reasons, though.
Yeah, if a boy from birth has bad hormones and needs supplementation to be right his whole entire life and was never able to come off of it, he would still be more normal than someone who transitions and takes their own hormones.
Yeah.
Like, it would still be... And, of course, like, when you're taking... Like for a man, for example, like, we have active peptides that can, like, stimulate our balls and, like, create sperm while we're on testosterone. So, like, you can still totally function normal the rest of your life. Still be able to have kids and be on testosterone your whole life.
And having low doses of it doesn't mean that you're the wrong sex. It just means that your endocrine cycle or endocrine system just doesn't work perfectly right, and you don't have the right amount of hormone levels.
It's just genetic hiccups.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And you don't have to change genders to fix it.
No. You need to take the right hormones to fix it. And if you're someone like Dirk, who I would categorize as, like, uncurable gay, because at this point, like, his brain pathways have formed. They're not gonna fire him the way they need to for him to be a man. You know, like, even for him, I don't think supplementation with even, like, high levels of testosterone is gonna make him feel any better. He'll feel more manly, but he won't feel better about it. In which
It'll
case,
probably just make him more confused.
in which case, I would experiment with mushrooms while on testosterone. Maybe mushrooms will connect those pathways.
That's true, because mushrooms do fire those neurons.
Yeah, they'll create pathways that weren't even connected before.
Absolutely. Mushrooms can be good stuff.
Yeah, it can all be linked to hormones. And it's crazy to me that scientists and doctors are willing to agree with that nonsense. That would be like mechanics encouraging people to use the wrong type of fuel and just rip out components all willy-nilly whenever they wanted to.
Yeah.
Why would a mechanic ever do that?
Oh, yeah, you don't need to fix your just a radiator. Just put bars
Yeah, no, you don't need to put oil in it. Just put water in it instead.
You're good. Yeah.
You know, if you got a Prius, it's okay. Put diesel in it.
Yeah.
It'll still run.
You give it the wrong step, it's not going to go.
Mechanic will never do that because it's fucking nonsense. That's unfactual. It's not how cars work.
It's not how the body works.
Yeah, and the science behind the bodies, I mean, with the exception of genetic hiccups, I mean, the body's more fine-tuned than a fucking car is.
Yeah.
So, obviously you saw what I sent you.
About.
That Elon
Yeah.
bought 9% of the company.
Yeah.
So then they offered him a position on the board, because that's what you do when someone's that big of a shareholder. You offer him a position on the board. In return, that he buy no more than 15% of the stock, and they were essentially like going to be able to control his tweets, and like he had to be responsible and blah 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 blah. So he told them no, like the day that they were going to announce that he was going to be a board member, he said, yeah, you know what, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Good.
And then turned around and offered them $40 billion to buy the entire company, and has now backed them into a corner because it's what's called their fiduciary responsibility to sell the company to Elon, because he's offering them like $13 more per share than what he's even required to. Yeah, so if they decide not to sell the entire company to Elon, at that point, like, people can sue them for being irresponsible business owners. Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
Elon's kind of got him screwed.
You know what? He kind of plays chess like Trump does.
A little bit, but except he's like a super genius engineer. I think he's like 2 or 3 levels beyond Trump. He's definitely smarter than Trump by a long shot.
Oh, hey, listen, so you can cut this out. I just want to ask you, because this is a really hard question. Dee Dee, my Catholic friend, that's like my Nicodemus. She's my Nicodemus.
Modi!
And she sent a message the other day, and she said, I think I've got it backwards. She said, this whole time I've been trying to figure out how I can make, she calls him Yeshua. I call him Daddy. Yeshua is what she feels comfortable calling him.
Okay.
I mean,
it's the name of God, sure.
exactly. I mean,
It's Jesus just
in Hebrew, exactly. But I mean, like Joseph Perez, the guy, the first kiss that I bit his tongue. He calls him Yeshua too. But anyways, she asked me, she said, I think I've got it all backwards. She said, this whole time I've been trying to get Yeshua to love me more. And I need to do it the other way around, and I need to learn how to love him more. How do I do that? How do you answer that question? I have been in prayer about it. Every time it crosses my mind, I'm like, Daddy, how am I supposed to answer this? That's a really hard question to answer.
It's really not.
It's not something I can answer.
I feel like in that instance, you show her like a story of the prodigal son, or like the story of like Jesus explaining to him like how a good father is not going to give you a stone or scorpions or snakes or whatever.
See, that's the thing. I can't relate. She doesn't have kids. So it's really hard for me to relate.
How was her relationship with her parents though?
You know, I know she's talked about her mom. I don't know about her dad. I can find out though. I mean, she loves her animals, so I try to relate it to that, but it's not.
I mean, really, yeah, I mean, it's hard if she doesn't have an example of being supporter. But I mean, that's the best answer you can give her. If you want to love God more, you just need to focus on the scriptures that tell you just how much he loves you. Like, if you understand how much he loves you, you just love him all that much more.
Yeah, but that's hard to really put into words. You know, he gave me, like, I know that I'm supposed to give her examples of his love for us. You know, and I just want to say, you know, the love that you feel for your kids, that's earthly love. And he loves us that
so much more.
Oh my gosh, that our love that we feel for our kids is just scratches the surface of the love that he has for us.
You really want to blow her mind. Tell her that God could not exist without us. He is love. Like, the only way he can exist is by having something to love and to reciprocate that love with him. Otherwise, he just can't exist. He would cease to exist. He has to love, and he has to be loved.
Who was there?
Jesus. There was just love within themselves. And then he created the angels, but of course that was imperfect because they just followed him and were yes men. They didn't really love him.
They didn't really love him. When I understood grace and just how much freedom is wrapped up in grace, and the freedom that I felt from that, it just, once you understand grace, you can't not feel loved.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different places in the Bible you could go to show that. I mean,
the scene of Mary and Jesus in the tent on The Chosen.
I think for Dee Dee in particular, what might be helpful is showing her in the Old Testament how God didn't want to create the law and how he just wanted to deal with them based on love and grace. And how they arrogantly said that they wanted the law, and God was so furious with them that he damn near wiped them out and started over with Moses. If you show her that the law was not originally God's intent, And his purpose with Jesus was
Just
to leave it behind.
And to just be loved.
Just be loved. To re-enter that promise that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's kind of like, you guys are asking for this really stupid gift. I'm going to give it to you to show you how stupid it is. And then instead of seeing how stupid it was, they just kept following it. I guarantee you at any point, if the entire nation of Israel had come together and said, hey God, in wisdom we realize that we fucked up. We asked for something that we should not have asked for. As a collective, we recognize that it was something stupid and we don't want it anymore.
He would have taken it away.
He would have taken it away.
And Jesus wouldn't have had to have come.
Yeah. Because the law wasn't what he wanted anyways. Yep. Yeah. Jesus was like the biggest aha to everybody. It was like, for thousands of years now, none of you guys have been perfect enough to fulfill the law. So here I come. I'm going to do it for you. Just to show you how stupid it was.
How stupid it was, yeah.
So that way we can finally be done with it.
You know, a lot of lessons can be learned from Moses and the Israelites, and
Yeah.
you know, the one that gets me is they could have crossed that wilderness in 7 days. 7 days. They could have been there in the promised land. Instead, they say, no, we want to do it our way. We want to complain and gripe and grumble and moan and groan, and we want to, you say go left and we say we want to go right because we want to do our own thing. And so instead of 7 days, it took them 40 years. 40 years. And then when they got there, not all of them could go in.
Now that I've gotten older, I can understand that too. Like, I feel like if I was out in the wilderness and I knew where I was going, but I had a kid who was constantly complaining and griping, and oh, when are we gonna be there?
Are we almost there?
I would purposely extend the trip too, just to teach them some patience.
Not 40 years.
Well, not 40 years. I mean, in God's perspective, 40 years is just a couple days. You know, you probably spent just a couple extra days with them out in the desert. You know, from an earthly father's perspective, spending like an extra day or two is like 40 years to go.
That's what it feels like to an earthly dad too. 40 years. Yeah. I say you were my Moses.
Yeah.
I've told you that many times. You're going to get where you're going.
Yeah.
You can get there the easy way or you can get there the hard way.
Well, it really wasn't Moses. Moses was the only one out of all of them that had shit figured out.
Yeah. You can be like the Israelites.
I mean, originally Moses was pretty stupid and disobedient and didn't want anything to do with it. But once he was on board, that was it. He was fully on board.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that, he could have just gone along with God and said, okay, God, sure, I'll be your new father to the nations. You can start over with me. I mean, I kind of wonder, like, at any point, did he feel like some sting of ego or pride? Like, that's a big
job.
The fact that God's willing to go back on a promise that he already made to somebody to make a new promise with me. Like, he must see me as, like, pretty important.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Almost as much as being chosen to carry his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moses was a good dude to be like, no, let's not do that. Let's give them what they want, even though it's stupid.
I'm gonna make this brass serpent because that's what they want.